So the conclusion, it's maybe the last section of the manuscript, like it is just before the references. Uh, but the conclusion usually has these three parts. Like first, you state a summary again of what you did. So again, you need to highlight what is interesting about your finding. You need to, it can be only one paragraph where you only mention what you found, and that's it. That's okay. You can say like, in this paper, we analyzed three restaurants that experience a digital transformation process, which each of them had a different result or different strategy, something like that. And we found that in the digital transformation processes, this and this becomes very important, contrary to these other studies who argued something different. So as you can see, it's a summary of what you have done. Then after you finish with that, it can be one or two paragraphs. You should state the limitations of your research. Again, limitations can be one or two paragraphs maximum, and limitations are, as the name says, the limitations of your research, because you couldn't do everything. So you need to state in there what is missing from the research. So I think the most important limitation from all of your papers are that we had the lockdown from COVID. So it was impossible to make visits, or all the interviews had to be online if that is the case. So I think that is the first limitation. Another limitation can be that maybe all of your studies are from a developing country, which is Mexico, and that's fine. But you can also state that that the limitation is that it's only in Mexico. Like maybe it will be interesting to find another company from the same industry in Colombia, maybe, or maybe from a developed country like the US, where they have um, more money and more infrastructure to do the digital transformation process. So it's only about highlighting what are the limitations, like what are the boundaries of the research. And finally, this is the third part of the conclusion. It is future research. So if you continue doing research in this topic, what will you do? It's like, would you do a quantitative study? Because maybe this one was very exploratory, but now you have some information to state hypothesis. Or maybe would you do this study in South America or in Asia? It's future research. You don't have to really do it, but these are like ideas for other people to do a study later on and then compare it with your study. So these are the three subsections of the conclusion section. So you can do 3 paragraphs minimum, or you can do 4, 5, 6. It depends on how much, or on how many words you want to add in here. Um, from my point of view, maybe the discussion can be a little bit difficult because you have to link your findings with the theory, and so you need to be aware of the theory, and you need to remember the papers and things like that. But I think the conclusion is it's much easier. It's just a summary, then you highlight the limitations, which are a lot, and then you highlight or you state what do you want to do in the future, or you or someone else. So that's pretty much everything for today's class. uh, as I said, you don't have to upload anything today. You just have to work on the manuscript that you have. Keep saving your file, keep polishing your file, and just save it for the final submission. So I hope that you like this topic. It's almost the last part. It's funny because the last part is going to be the introduction and the abstract. So the first things that you read when you read a paper. So it's always like that. Like the last thing you do is to write the introduction and the conclusion. So this week we have class. It's on the 3rd of November. Then on the 10th of November, we also have class. We are going to write the abstract and introduction in that class. And on the 17th of November, we are going to um, we're going to polish everything. That is the last class before submission. So we're going to polish everything to make it look really nice, give some format, check proofread everything, check if you don't have any mistakes, grammar mistakes or whatever. And then in the next class after that, on the 24th of November, it's the final presentation. So that's the agenda for this last partial. I think we are on time and you are doing pretty well. So just keep on working hard as you have been doing. So that will be all about the videos of today.